let's get started, guys. The whole purpose of the MBX Evolution, as you know, is to help us navigate the road ahead wherever you're headed in your life. Whatever you're choosing, wherever your destiny is, whatever your profession is, whatever your service, your craft is. You know, as you navigate this road ahead, as you go into the end, the last quarter of this year and then into next year, you know, how do you build that resilience, that ability to be able to take these challenges? Because what's happening outside today, some people are saying just the beginning. We're just getting trained now to be able to deal with these type of challenges that might come into the world. So if you can train yourself to deal with these and deal with them in a way where you end up being authentic and congruent with what it is that you do, and today is going to be so important for you to get that clarity around that. Most people are doing things that they don't want to do, so they're losing their own integrity. They're losing their connection with their future, their why, their purpose, so they stop touching the rim of the future and they fall into their own black hole. If you find you've got a calling and you want to go down a rabbit hole and become a coach, hey, we're transparent. We've got a huge rabbit hole for you, right? But you're only going to come down that when you're ready and if you're ready. No language patterns there, just simple. When you're ready and if you're ready, right? And so we put this together so we can get you thinking about and feeling, more importantly, because the secret to you manifesting what you want in your life is connected to the feeling that you want. Some questions we're going to give you about. What's the feeling that you want to be able to get in each conversation that you have, and what do you bring? So what are you envisaging for your future? So for those who are going down the rabbit hole as well, and wanting to be a coach and learning all these tools, NLP, hypnosis, kinesiology, you're getting ideas to ask questions with clients in a certain way. Obviously, you're not a high-performance coach. It doesn't stop you from asking these questions with your clients. It doesn't stop you asking these questions with your friends. You know, Mary gave us a great feedback in the class the other day. She goes, you know, she's having a chat with her friends and she realised she was asking questions that were asked here, and the friend said, oh, hey, that's pretty cool. You're good at this. So what was the feedback, Mary? Share that, because you're just integrating this in your normal conversations.
We're just saying, like, they were seeing it from a different perspective, and they were saying, like, it'd be great if you were here in person. It'd be even more convincing, because I'm quite, I don't know if I'd say pushy, but I'm quite like...
Passionate.
Yes.
Good reframe, right? There you go. Great. And to be able to get that feedback from people that you talk to, that you actually help them reframe things, you get to see things differently, then that's really what it's about. So if you haven't had a chance to look at that video, do that and ensure that you do them in order. I mean, you can do them session by session by session, but there's something that happens when you do these sessions in order. The one builds into the next one, and the awarenesses of the previous one help you with the next session. That's the way the questions are designed. And you know what Brendan Bouchard says, as a coach, what's your job as a coach? Your coach is just simply to ask questions. Appreciative inquiry, that's a positive psychology concept, right? To ask questions so the client, you, can discover the decisions that you need to make in order to live a more fulfilled life, in order for you to get the results that you want in your health, your career, your relationships, the areas that you want to be working on, your wealth. And when you get there, you are more fulfilled and more at peace and you do that consistently. So what decisions do you need to make? I'm not making the decisions for you. My job is just to ask you the questions to consider how you've been making decisions and to consider the decisions you need to make. And so the beautiful thing is these questions have been written in such a specific way to get that result. What's even more exciting in this group, and the fact that we have NLP as a modality as part of this evolution, you know, you learn some wonderful tools with Brendan and you get a lot of tasks. So from a positive psychology perspective and a coach and consultant, you'll get lots of tasks to give clients, and you're going to get 4 or 5 tasks tonight, which are awesome with clarity. Some great practice tips, right? And however, if someone comes up with an obstacle, they come up with an emotion, they come up with some sort of limiting belief or a challenge which is stopping them moving the next step, there's no real interventions with this training. You don't learn the therapy part of it. It's the coaching part of it. The beautiful thing about doing NLP with this, you get the therapy part of it. You get the tools and techniques to help the person break through that limitation, break through that challenge, break through that obstacle, do a swish pattern, some modality, a timeline on whatever the obstacle is for them to get that clarity. You put those two together, guys, it is an awesome experience. And I'm going to show you how, for those who are going down a pathway and being certified as a coach and setting their businesses up, think about how you can create your own template, a series of sessions, which is part of your program, that people come and get a result with, whether it's a weight loss program, whether it's a wealth creation program, whether it's a small business growth program, a relationship program. I mean, all these habits are consistent throughout all those areas: clarity, energy, courage, productivity, influence, all required to get the results in those areas. Because if we don't know where we're starting from, how do we get to the destination? It's like, you know, when you hop in your car and you plug in your destination with GPS, if the GPS can't pick up where you're at, where you're starting from, it doesn't know how to calculate the route to get to the destination. So you need to have your destination, which is your goal, your why, or your big North Star, and then reverse engineer it. But ultimately, then you need to have where you are right now. And this is what helps you with that. Here's my first question to you as we move into this next coaching call. The question I'm going to ask you is this. Have you ever wondered, how do extraordinary people become extraordinary? I mean, how does someone who's living an extraordinary life in all aspects of their life, their health, their career, their relationships, their finances, the way they feel fulfilled and consistently do it in their life, what is it that they do that makes them extraordinary? Because there's a jump from the ordinary person to become extraordinary, but then there's something that that person who's extraordinary needs to do consistently to stay extraordinary. So the question is, which habits lead to a dramatic performance improvement and long-term success? I mean, this is what this coaching is about. What are the activities, the rituals, the habits which are required in order for you to do that consistently? Because let's demystify some things, right? What's not working in people's lives? And not that these aren't working, they work to a certain extent, but what's not working? I mean, let's have a look here. How many people go to coaches or see practitioners and say, look, you just got to start something. How many people just start but are still struggling? How many people are working hard? I mean, there's 1 billion people in the world who are working hard, but they're still struggling. How many people out there who are passionate about something and they're working hard and they're starting something, but they're still not getting to that next step? So I'm not saying these aren't important. They are. They're important to get you moving. They could be important for you to actually start that momentum. Maybe if you're a 19-year-old or a 25-year-old or whatever, you just get into the workplace and getting clear where you want to go in your life. And yeah, you know, I've got to be passionate. I've got to work hard. You start, build a momentum and you get to a certain level. But then how do you get to the next level? You're told to focus on your strengths. Is that a cop-out, an easy way out just to play it safe for you? Does focusing on your strengths get you to your next level? It's an interesting question, right? Or just do the things which are easy for you? So are you growing if you're just focusing on your strengths? People say just practice a lot. Practice all NLP a lot and you'll be great at NLP. But how many people practice, and how many people come in and watch it maybe 5 times, 7 times, 10 times, but still don't apply it? And they haven't gotten to the next level. What's missing? Am I making any sense there, guys? How many of you are grateful? You do gratitude journals every day, you just stick to all these things, but still it's like there's a piece missing that you haven't cracked the code. Have you ever asked yourself these questions, right? So have you ever wondered why some individuals or teams, if you look at corporate, because this could be corporate coaching, right? Why some individuals succeed more quickly than others and sustain it over a long term? How can some people get success quicker and make it consistent? You've been in the field doing something for 20, 25 years. I'll look at myself. I've been in this field for 25 years and people come in over 6 years and achieve a bigger success and sustain it. What's the difference? What old paradigm am I working on and I need to shift to move into a new paradigm, adopt a different ritual, different habit? If I keep on doing what I've been doing, I'm going to keep on getting what I've been getting, and I get bloody good at that. I master getting what I'm getting, which I don't want. So what's the difference here? And of those who pull it off, that get successful, why are some people miserable when they get success? I mean, you've met people that have achieved things and they're still miserable. Like they've got that job, they're making the money, they've got that relationship, but there's still a gap missing, there's a hole missing. Have you ever wondered that? While others are just happy being on that journey of growth and learning and growing. Or maybe you've asked this question. Have you thought about this? What motivates people to reach those high levels of success in the first place? And what kind of habits, training and support help them to continue to grow? Because we can give you theory, we can give you concepts, we can give you content, right? However, if you don't consistently apply certain actions to do certain things to create the habit, then the results will be reflective of that. And then you've got to ask yourself, why is that? Are you not congruent with those actions? So you need to work on you as an individual, the identity, the inner work, in order to be congruent with what it is that you do, so you can be aligned to what it is that you get. I mean, that's really been at the heart center of all our work during COVID. That's been our message, and how our work has transitioned into just focusing on that. And everything that we do, the NLP, the hypnosis, the kinesiology, the accelerated transformational coaching, is centered at you doing the work inside in order to be congruent with the results outside. So it's an inductive process in order for you to change. Deductive in planning your life, but inductive in experiencing what you want to achieve. So I want you to know that nothing works like habits work. The right habits. And you've seen this quote from Aristotle. I've shown you before, but let's do it again. Excellence is an art won by, is not an art, well, excellence is an art won by training and habituation. We do not act rightly, and it's important to get this, we do not act rightly because we have virtue or excellence. So in other words, you don't do the right thing because you've got virtue and excellence, right? But rather we have those because we've acted rightly. You have virtue and excellence because you've created the neurology, you've acted rightly, you've done the habit to create that. You've done the thing which is uncomfortably uncomfortable, and suddenly it's comfortable. You've all done that, because I bet you can remember the first time you hopped behind a wheel to drive a car. You're unconscious incompetent. And now you do it in such a way where it's a habit. You have that learning process, you've got that neurology and that program in there. You just need to take that strategy, right, and link it to a new behavior, new way of doing things. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. You repeatedly come near, you're moving towards excellence. If you show up every now and then, we're grateful, we're honoured, we love having your presence. Do you need to answer to yourself when you look in the morning in the mirror? Are you holding yourself to a higher standard? Are you committing to your growth and to your learning and your expansion of your mind, your evolution of your spirit, you know, the healing of your heart and the evolution of your soul? Because this is what we do with this program. And I'm so blessed that you give me the opportunity to do that, because by me doing it all the time, that, believe me, it helps me. This is my healing. So keep on working with people, because that heals you. So what is high performance then? So if we're going to install these habits, what is high performance? Let's give you like I suppose a dictionary definition or a corporate definition. This is what Brendan would say. High performance is this. High performance means succeeding beyond standard norms. Now, that applies according to whom? So the meta model violation in NLP would be according to whom? Right? Whose norms? Who says these norms are standard? So this is good, right? So you can apply all those language patterns that you've learned to this. But let's say society's standard norms, to the reasonable man, because that's common law. When we look at common law, and in the legal system, we have a system that we abide by. Values level 4 mentality. I know some people buck the system. But I suppose your norms, why don't you use your guidance system, your GPS system inside? What's your internal GPS standard for the way you live your life? Forget someone else, forget society, forget the person to the left of you, to the right of you, to above you or below you, or diagonally to you, if you're in the middle somewhere on the page. So forget them. What's your standard? So what if you held yourself to a standard where you succeeded beyond those norms consistently over a long term? And the key word is consistently, guys. What's the difference between achievement and high performance? That word, consistently. Because how many of you, put your hand up, I'll be the first, binge achieve? We're binge achievers, right? We set a quick short-term goal, we'll do whatever we can, work 100 miles an hour to get it, we got it, take a month off. We fall backwards again. Oh, let's binge achieve. Fall backwards again. Binge achieve, hey, it's a pattern. The good news is we know how to achieve a goal. What we need to do is install the rituals to do that consistently. Even Tony Robbins says that, what is success? The constant achievement of predetermined, worthwhile goals. The can I principle. So, constant achievement of predetermined, worthwhile goals. Constant and never-ending achievement. That's what he calls it. Constant and never-ending achievement. Can I? The Japanese call it kaizen. You just look up kaizen. How many coaching businesses call themselves kaizen? Kaizen coaching. Or can I coaching? So it's the consistency which is important, guys. And so if we take it away from this corporate or a legal definition, what does it mean? Because when people are doing things consistently, when they're achieving aspects of fulfillment and joy by consistently being their best, that's what high performance is. I want you to think about it. Think about it. It feels like the full engagement, being completely engaged in life. Being in flow, right? Having that joy and that confidence within yourself, that self-confidence, that, hashtag you got this. You have this belief that whatever happens, you're able to deal with it. See, high performers are future-focused. That's a belief you need to install. They believe the future can and will be better than the present and the past. High performers don't live in the past. They don't just stay in the present. They understand the powers in the present moment. So whatever I choose in the present determines my destiny. If I just sit and wait for the universe to give me, well, the universe is going to give me what I put out. So if not putting anything out, I'm not going to get anything in. That's the power of the present moment. So I continue to touch the rim of possibilities. I become a possibilitarian. You've heard that term before. Robin Sharma term, right? So we go into flow. I want you to understand, guys, it's not about strengths. Here's the misperception. This field of positive psychology has grown and we understand it and we love it. And we know what focusing on strengths mean. But people use focusing on strengths as a cop-out as well, to not grow. Just focus on your strengths. I was just having a chat to a colleague today and they asked me for some help. Great to put the hand up. And they said, obviously we just want to put a team around us of focusing around your strengths. I said, so you want me to do all the detailed stuff because I'm strong in that for you. Okay, well, if I did that, if that for you, am I helping you or enabling you? I'm not saying I'm going to help, but how can I help them to lean into it so they can learn to do it themselves? Right? So if we're always focusing on our strengths, it's not about strengths, guys. Here's important, write this down. High performers do not report working on their strengths any more than other people do. Don't think that high performers just focus on their strengths like everyone else. It's important to focus on your strengths, yes. Find what you're good at, share your magic, but then how do you cultivate that strength? How do you use that strength to lean into a stretch, to learn something else? Or do you just stay in the one lane? People talk about find your lane and stay in it. Find your strength on. I get it. But if you're running a marathon, they don't stay in lanes. They only stay in the lane for the first lap. This ain't a sprint. So after the first lap, you all fall into a bunch. Correct? Life's a marathon. It's all about metaphors. They just come to you and you just waffle. Here's the important part. The question I ask less often, this is the high performer. The question I ask less often is, who am I and what am I good at? It's important to find out who you are, your identity, and what you're good at. But if you're asking that all the time, what does it imply? You don't know yet. If you're asking, who am I? 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 Let me just work on my identity first. I get that. Well, okay. I know we constantly evolve and we change what's important to us, but if you're still in limbo land and you're doing all this work, come on, are you serious or not? They ask this, and you ask yourself every morning this. There's going to be some questions we're going to give you and tasks. What is required to be of service here? And how can I grow into that or lead others to deliver service? Wow. So when stuff happens in their life, they say, hey, what's required for me to be of service here? Not what I'm strong in. I've got my strengths to help me, but what's required to deliver service here? Can I utilize my strengths to do that? Or do I need to lean into something and learn something else to deliver service? And how can I help others to deliver their service? So that implies a duplication, a teaching, a passing on of the baton. You're providing a transformational experience as a high performer, not just a commodity, a solution to a problem. People build great businesses, commodity businesses, but they always look for the same client, as opposed to taking a client on a transformational journey. You'll come in to help with a problem solution, but then where can they end with you? So what's the secret to this, guys? Would you like to know it? Well, come on, we need some energy for the secret. Come on, let's get some energy going. Let's go, yeah, come on, let's get the secret going. What's the secret? You know the secret. The secret is this. When you get this, when you know what you're getting yourself into, when you have that clarity, life becomes easier for you. People walk through their life without the clarity. So when people get clear with what's important to them, what's important in their life, how they want to show up, how they want to interact with the relationships, what guides them when they make decisions. What if you found a way, you know when you got two opportunities, you don't know which one to go for? What if we gave you a little formula tonight, a task, for you to actually calculate which one's the best opportunity that makes you more, it keeps you more in authenticity and integrity? Would that be useful? So when you think of going on to do leadership or the influencer program or not, you can run that formula. Or anything else. If you've got option A and option B, it's a way of getting clarity, because a lot of people have opportunities in their life, right? They get presented with opportunities and they don't have the clarity which one. And they drive through life like going through an orange light. They hope they get to the other side before it goes red, and they hope that there isn't another truck coming the other side. But sometimes we miscalculate that change from the orange to the red. I didn't realize it was that quick. Doesn't orange last a little bit longer, right? Anyone ever been in that scenario? Well, right now, I've been blessed with a gift of connecting to the universal timetable and catching public transport for the next 6 months. Right? So I just have to go with the flow of the timetable of the universe. That's my metaphor. Because before I could drive my car. I mean, I can now, but if I follow the system, I'm not allowed. I've lost my license for 6 months. And so when I had my car, I realized that, well, what I realize now is I'm a control freak. Right? Because my car was my vehicle of control. Because my car took me from here to there. And if I needed to be somewhere, I could calculate, I could get there. I was in control of how I got there. Even if there was traffic, I knew I'd find a way, right? But now I don't have that control. I can't get there with the vehicle that I chose. I have to get there with a vehicle that's available to me from the universe. I have to access resources outside of me and plug into the timetable when that resources comes past to take me where I need to go. And so I've had to let go of that and just sit in that moment. And I can tell you how much clarity does it give you. I'm actually quite enjoying it. I'm contemplating selling my car. I don't need it. It's just satisfying an extrinsic thing, right? It makes you feel good. But that doesn't make logical sense. Do I need the car to make me feel good? If I can feel good on a train, or the 961 or the M92, whichever one comes through first, right? In my area, then why do I need the car? Yin and Yang theory, yeah. When I did this program, and I had the coaching with my coach, Stephanie, and she took me through this process, you know, when she challenged me to get clear in who I wanted, how I wanted to show up in my conversations, who I wanted to be every day, and what are my guiding phrases that help me get through life and get me through those challenges and to connect with resources that we all have, those strengths, those, you know, there's no, resources ain't the problem, unresourcefulness is a problem, right? That's what Tony Robbins says. So we need to click into a state of resourcefulness. So it's just that we're clicking into states which no longer serve us. So that clarity that gave me, well, without that, with stuff that's going on in my life at the moment, I really don't know what to be. It's like, you know, all these tools are the pieces that are important to you to actually help you move forward. And so, you know, for you too, you'll see how this is an initial part or the first habit which is important to move forward to what is that you want to achieve with whatever it is that you want to achieve in your life. Let's ask you some questions about clarity. And this is what I want you to ponder on. You need to answer yourself. First question, what do you feel most certain and clear about in your life right now? See, many times we don't take stock of where we're at. Let's take stock of our clarity. What do you feel most certain and clear about in your life right now? And it's important to write something down to get that in neurology. What are you most certain and clear about in your life right now? Next question. What areas are you feeling uncertain or directionless? Now it's the opposite. Where do you feel you got no direction in your life? Where is there uncertainty? Is there uncertainty with your health at the moment? Is there uncertainty with your career? So if you don't take stock of this, how are we going to start? How do we get you to focus on the activities to build clarity? Question number 3. What do you value most in your life right now? What do you value most in your life right now? What's the most important thing in your life right now? What do you value most? Do you value your family the most? Do you value you the most? Do you value your work? Do you value health, relationships? So here's the thing. Let's go to family, right? Do you value family the most or providing for the family? Supporting the family, being there for the family. You break it down. Right? People say family, but it's not family. It's actually what you do for the family that you value the most. Because if you didn't do what you want to do for the family, would you value them? That's interesting, isn't it? So you should value you and value your craft and value your ability to be there for the family. Support the kids and learn and achieve. So you've got to value learning. Because that's what's going to get you to provide for the family. Number 4, do you feel clear about who you are and what's important? And do you feel you're living in alignment and congruent with the best of who you are? And number 5, if you had to explain what makes you most successful to someone that you are mentoring, what would you say?